Jump right in. Today we're going to tackle a really critical process for any modern warehouse, and that is mastering physical inventory inside SAP's extended warehouse management system. So here's the million-dollar question, right? How do you count everything you have without bringing your entire operation to a screeching halt? You know, the old way was incredibly disruptive, but a modern system like SAP EWM, well, it has some much smarter, much more elegant ways to keep your counts accurate without stopping the flow of goods. Okay, so here's how we're going to break this down today. We'll kick things off with the core challenge, the why behind all this. Then we'll dive into the specific tools EWM gives you, get into the really cool continuous counting methods, talk about setting up the rules of the game, and then figure out how to manage it all. So why is this such a big deal anyway? Well, to put it simply, your inventory accuracy, that is the absolute bedrock of an efficient supply chain. If your system has no idea what you actually have on the shelves, you can't make promises, you can't plan properly, and you certainly can't ship effectively. But, as we all know, getting that perfect count can be a massive operational headache. Now, to tackle this, SAP EWM gets that modern warehouses are complex. It knows that one size does not fit all. So instead of giving you a single, rigid process, it gives you this flexible toolkit packed with different inventory procedures that are each designed for a specific situation. At a really high level, you've basically got these three main families of procedures to work with. And the cool thing is, you can use just one of them, or you can mix and match to create a hybrid approach that fits your warehouse's unique needs, and of course, your accounting rules. I love this analogy because it just makes so much sense. Think of your classic annual inventory count as a sledgehammer. It's powerful, it gets the job done, but man, it can shut everything down. On the other hand, an ad hoc count, say, for a specific damaged product, that's like a surgeon's scalpel. It's precise, it's targeted, and there's very little disruption to everything else. Now, the real game changer in a system like EWM is this whole suite of continuous inventory methods. These are designed from the ground up to weave counting right into your day-to-day operations, so it becomes just another background task instead of this massive all-hands-on-deck event. The magic of cycle counting is that it completely gets rid of that big bang annual shutdown. By breaking up a monumental task into these tiny, manageable daily counts, you're constantly maintaining accuracy without ever having to stop the business. It's a total paradigm shift. And here's how it works. It's not just random counting. It's super strategic. First, you classify your products, your A items or your fast movers, the ones that really drive revenue. Then you decide to count those important items more often. This way, you're focusing your effort where it has the biggest impact on the business. When you put these two methods side by side, the business case is just crystal clear. With an annual count, you get this huge spike in disruption and labor, all for a single snapshot in time that's probably out of date a week later. With cycle counting, you trade all that chaos for a smooth, continuous process that gives you way higher accuracy all year long. And it's not just cycle counting. EWM has other really clever event-triggered methods. These literally turn regular warehouse tasks into little inventory checks. So, for example, when a picker empties a bin, the system can automatically say, hey, while you're there, just confirm this bin is actually empty. It's all about building accuracy into every single process. Okay, so we have our tools, we have our methods, now we need to set the rules of the game. And this is where something called tolerance groups come in. And trust me, they're incredibly powerful for automating how you deal with any discrepancies you find. This table really breaks it down nicely. By setting these tolerances based on value or percentage, you're basically teaching the system how to make smart decisions on its own. Small, tiny differences, the system can just post them automatically. A big, worrying difference? Bam! It automatically triggers a recount. This lets your team stop chasing pennies and focus only on the exceptions that matter. And at the end of the day, this is all about intelligent automation. We're not just talking about saving a few clicks here and there. It's about slashing manual effort, guaranteeing a consistent, rules-based approach, and freeing up your most valuable asset, your people, to go solve the real, complex problems. But what happens when you find a difference that falls outside those automatic rules? For those situations, EWM gives you a super powerful investigation tool called the Difference Analyzer. We've all been there, right? This is the classic warehouse problem, a simple one-item discrepancy. It seems so small, but it could be hiding a much bigger issue. A shipping error, a receiving mistake, who knows? The Difference Analyzer is the tool you use to dig in and find that root cause. You should really think of this as your central investigation hub. It doesn't just show you a single error from one count document. No, it lets you pull back and see the bigger picture, looking at differences across multiple items, documents, and processes. And this is where its real power shines. It stops noise from flooding your accounting system. Let's say one process accidentally adds an item, and another process accidentally subtracts that same item. The analyzer is smart enough to see the net effect is zero, and it can stop two separate pointless financial postings from ever being created. It's about intelligence, not just raw data. All right, let's start to wrap this up. We're going to take a quick look at a few essential companion tools and then boil everything we've talked about down to the most important takeaways from our deep dive into EWM physical inventory. It's so important to remember that EWM doesn't exist in a vacuum. These tools are absolutely critical for making sure it works seamlessly with everything else, from external accounting services to, and this is the big one, staying in perfect sync with your core financial records back in the ERP system. Look, if you only remember 3 things from this entire explainer, please make it these next 3 points. Okay, here they are, the core principles. Number 1, match the procedure to your need. Don't bring a sledgehammer when a scalpel will do the job. Number 2, automate, automate, automate. Use those tolerance groups to let the system handle the small stuff. And number 3, reconcile, don't just count. Use the difference analyzer to understand the why behind your numbers. It's all about being smarter and less disruptive. And that's the final thought I want to leave you with. Your inventory data, it isn't just operational noise. It's a hugely valuable strategic asset that affects your entire company. Thanks so much for joining me for... All right, let's